Hey guys, Chris from Ultimate Recycler. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the farm. We're back here for our episode something or other. I totally forget, of the Great Farm Cleanup. It'll be in the title. This trip, Mum has come back with me. She's frantically packing up some stuff in one of her store sheds. We've only been here about an hour. It is Tuesday, just after lunch. She's just coming in through that door. And we have a lot to do. We only have a short amount of time this time. We do have to do a trip up to Horsham, which is the nearest major town. And we also have to do some business in town here. And we're going back Thursday lunchtime. So really going to be under pressure to fill the van this trip. But we need to finish cleaning up some stuff. Not much left in the house. Lots of stuff in the sheds. I'll take you for a bit of a walk around and we'll have a look. So the farmhouse now could best be described as sparsely furnished. There's really not much here at all. We made a really good impact on the house last time we were here. All the cupboards are empty, and the tables and basic furniture here and the fridge, we pretty much just, we're down to almost camping here now. And some of this stuff I won't take back. I won't even try and sell. I'll either give it away on Facebook or I might ask Ross to see if he wants it left in the house, because, you know, I will take that little folding trestle back. But really there's not much in the house to sort out. But the house was very cold. It's been unoccupied for a month, middle of winter here in Australia. So the first thing we did was lit the kitchen stove, because the hot water goes through that stove, and without that running we have no hot water. I've also lit the lounge room fire, because it was certainly an icy chill in here when we got here. And it's not bad outside. It's quite sunny and nice, but the house is very cold, as you can imagine, being empty for so long. So let's go and have a look outside. There's been a few things happened since we were here last. One of the things is the garden is just reverting to wild bushland, and that was always going to happen, and that's fine. We'll probably take back a few more pot plants this trip. The yard is looking very neat. Ross has been doing some mowing, cleaning it up. He's starting to use some of the sheds that we've emptied. It's actually a very smooth transition, actually. As we get things emptied, Ross is sorting them out, putting his own machinery in there. He's got some grain out of the silos recently, because he gets them with the property. So we're getting less and less things we have to deal with. The wagon I'll have to re-advertise again. We haven't had any takers for that, so I will have to drop the price a little bit. But the yard's looking pretty neat. And the old Chamberlain tractor has been moved up from down the woodpile. I don't know if Ross towed it here or got it started, but Steve, my son, is going to take that one back next time he gets a truck suitable. We have to empty the caravan this trip because I want to start working on taking some photos of that and advertising that. We'll have to get the ute started. No doubt the battery will be flat again. We have to take that up to Horsham tomorrow. And I've got to clean out the last part of this shed. It's one of the few sheds of just random farm stuff that really hasn't been touched yet. But the rest of the property is looking really neat. Ross has been doing a lot of cleaning up and spraying and mowing, and it looks really nice. So his crops are going along all right too, I think. We've had some pretty cold, frosty weather, so there's not a lot of growth. But hopefully we have a nice spring with plenty of rain and they all finish well. And he's also brought the saw bench up from down the wood pile. So I think Steve's going to take that as well, because he's got a wood fire at his place. So the challenge will be to get a van load, and we don't have much furniture as such. I've got a lot of milk crates, which are great because they stack very well. And we have some shelving and a few other things to put in as well. I don't think we have to take any beds or anything back at this stage. As far as the workshop over there and Mum's shed here goes, we probably won't get so much done in these sheds. I'd rather clean up all the other outlying places. I have taken a photo of that dressing table. I'll throw that on Facebook now, and we might find a taker. Same with that other little cupboard. We will pack up some of this though today, and I do want to get some shelving in the van. I also want to get that green shelving from up on the wall there. I think they were early grocery store shelves, and I had them in my small engine shop at one stage. Are really handy storage, and they're real timber. They're not chipboard or plywood, which is great. Some of these other shelves we may leave here. I'll have to talk to Ross to see what he wants left here, or whether I just give it away. Some of the cupboards down the back there will probably, we might throw on the bonfire, or we might try and give away. There's not much value in those. This stuff in the carport I'll try and give away for free. I did have prices on some of this for a while, but I'm just going to basically offer it all up for free. Some bed heads and frames, good timber, but I don't want to take it back to Nagambie. And the workshop looks a bit of a mess, but it had thinned out quite well. There's really only that pile in the middle, and I'll be just putting a lot of stuff in crates and boxes and getting it in the van as best as we can. There is a fair pile of rubbish over there, so I'll have to do a load to the transfer station probably next trip. But all the cupboards are empty, I think I mentioned in the last episode. So this shed should actually clean up fairly quickly from now. But I'm not so worried about this time. If we can get Mum's other storage room done, maybe the caravan emptied and the last of the stuff out of the house, and hopefully, as long as I get a full van load, I'm going to be happy. So I just had to duck into town to post an eBay parcel that sold last night. The ute doesn't look too bad actually in this light, but it is quite filthy. I had to wash the windscreen down to be able to see, and of course the battery was dead flat. And if we lift the bonnet, look at the mess on top of the engine. There's been rats sitting in here, so I'm going to wash this off. Luckily they haven't chewed any of the wiring and the engine's running fine, but yeah, the rats have made a bit of a nest on the top there. So when things are left in sheds and unused, it's amazing how they start to deteriorate. We do need a new battery, but I might just keep jumping this one for now. I'll give it a quick wash now with the pressure washer, so at least it's presentable to go to town tomorrow. It's now the end of the day. I thought we were going to have a really nice sunset. It's not too bad, and that's something I'm going to miss from the farm, is the sunsets to the west. I mean, we get some great sunsets in Nagambie over the lake, but you know, something about the countryside where you grow up that you miss. The ute's ready to go. It's been on the battery charger this afternoon, so it will be right to go. We are going to pick up a new battery tomorrow when we're in Horsham, so that will solve that problem of having to jump it every time we're home. The van, I've cleaned it all out. We've got a massive stack of empty boxes and milk crates. I think we've cornered the market on milk crates. And I've started loading, got some shelves in there, started packing some boxes. Mum's been doing a great job in one of her storage rooms, packing up a lot of stuff. And I've been working on the separator room, which, if we can look down there, you can see where the light is down the end of the path there. It's a little room at the back of the farmhouse that we've always called the separator room because it used to have a milk separator in there. We always milked our own cows here and separated the milk and had it in beautiful farm fresh cream. It just became a garden storage shed, so I've been packing all that up. I've got all the packing out of the van, and I've started to get boxes in and the shelf up the front. So fairly productive day. We haven't done anything in that room there. We're just going to work on the little sheds around the house, and tomorrow morning we'll get into it bright and early. And I've put this dressing table on Facebook Marketplace. It's a 1960s dressing table, myrtle timber, beautifully made, really good condition. This is the only house it's ever lived in, and it was part of Mum and Dad's bedroom suite. We sold the wardrobes, you may remember previously. I've just put $50 on that. Hopefully someone sees some good value there and comes and picks it up. We've got only a small window of opportunity this trip, so maybe tomorrow afternoon or Thursday morning. And I've got the shelves out of there. So this room, pretty much, even though we seem to have gone diagonally, we're pretty well half done in this room. So we'll try and no doubt squeeze some of this in the van as we're going, and probably next trip we'll look at emptying this. But as I said, this time we're just doing all the little sheds and surrounding areas. We've got to take more pot plants back as well, and lots of garden tools, and we'll go around the garden and grab hoses and timers and all the little bits and pieces that Mum is now realising she needs in her garden over in Nagambie. Well, after fish and chips for tea, we got back into packing. It's now about 9 o'clock. As you can see, it's pretty dark now. I think we've had a long enough day. I'll just show you what I've achieved this evening. I've managed to get the separator room finished. Still a few boxes out here on the veranda area, but as you can see, she's totally empty other than built-in cupboards and shelves and things. Oh, and there's some cat food there. We have a stray cat here, and I think Ross is going to feed it. Or he has a cat as well, so he might get that food. So yeah, it's done. It's echoey. You guys know I love an echo. Clearly it never quite got finished being painted, and you know, it just became a bit of a utility room. In fact, you can see from the step in the concrete, the area where the old concrete trough is, originally I think was a walk-in toilet from the front, and this room I'm standing in was separate to the house. That's why there's a window there. So this room's finished. I'm happy to get this ticked off tonight. And Mum's been working diligently in the other little storage room. But it's got a bit cold out here, so she's been packing up some more stuff inside. We've got a fair way in here. There's not much more to do. We've got some bags where we're putting recyclables and glass bottles and things and general rubbish. And there's no furniture. It's really just boxes. She's got a lot of stuff to sort out. She's been finding newspaper clippings from 20 and 30 years ago and all sorts of, boxes of old schoolwork from my brother and I and all sorts of stuff. And of course, there's more herbs and stuff in jars, seeds. We've got to sort a few of those out. But basically, it's just packing stuff up, filling boxes. And when you get to this stage of a house pack up, it does become really random. Every box is just going to have a mix of all sorts of stuff. You don't have time to sort. There's a nice old tin trunk in there, and I think that's empty. You don't have time to sort stuff. It takes you too long if you start going through boxes of papers. So it's really just a scoop and box and pack, and we'll sort it all out once we get back to Nagambie. So this room, we should be able to clean this room up first thing in the morning before we head off to Horsham, or at least not long after, and that'll be another room ticked off. So as I emerge out of the inky blackness, we're going to call this episode finished. And the good news is I had a message on Facebook before. I think we've sold the dressing table, hopefully picked up Thursday morning. Sounds pretty promising. So that's good. We'll call this one finished. I'll probably do another episode for you again tomorrow. So I think we've had a pretty productive afternoon today. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one. Bye for now.